Hello and welcome to this video, and this video is going to be called 10 things you need to do to establish yourself as a music artist. If you are a budding musician and budding songwriter, maybe you make dance music, electronic music, avant-garde music, it doesn't matter what you do, whether it's commercial or not commercial. This method is the method that I've developed over the last 30 years teaching in colleges, where young people would come up to me and I had to create some sort of structure that would get them up and going. I've seen it work over and over again. In fact, I would say if you do these 10 steps that here, they're pretty obvious really, but if you do them, you commit yourselves to them and you do them in order, you will guarantee creating some sort of audience out of this method. But what's more important, if you don't do this, you definitely won't, all right? If you've got a friend or a family member who's a musician but they're not into prog or whatever that I do on this channel, please share this video with them. The reason why I decided to do it is that over the weekend I got approached by the parents of a singer-songwriter that's doing really well. They started to tell me about what they were doing and I started to advise them, and they got very excited saying, "God, why haven't we been told this? This is obvious." And it was all the stuff that I've learned over the last 30 years doing this. And then yesterday I had a call from an old student of mine from a few years back, and this guy's really great songwriter. He's now 40. He thinks it's a waste of time trying to do anything with his music. He thinks it'll take too much time, and I started to talk again through this 10-step method that I've got here, and he got very excited about it. Part of the reason why people get demotivated is because A, they don't believe that they're going to get any success. They think the competition is too great. They probably have self-loathing. I think that's essential for any creative person. So they don't think their stuff's very good, right? They'll have a reason not to do it, and then they don't do it, and they feel the frustration of not being able to express themselves. When you start out making music or making art, what's more important than being successful is creating a structure within which you can express yourself, because then you will start to calm, and procrastination and self-doubt will stop you from moving forward. So if you've got 10 stages and you have to just stick to these, whatever, you don't question them, you just go through them, right? And I'm going to try and as I go through it, throw in the thought processes you need to counter the demons that are going to stop you from doing this, right? So the first thing you need to do if you are a music artist is write some songs, right? Now I brought my acoustic guitar down here, and I'm going to try and get across to you that what you need to do is write lots of songs. Lots of songs. Don't sit there thinking you are writing the song that's going to make you a success. Imagine that you're practicing writing songs, right? I always say to my students, right, you want a record deal or you want some success, you want to create a fan base, you need great songs. So how many songs do you need to write to come up with a great song? And once you say that to them, they start going, oh, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe 50, right? So the first thing is forget about the internet, gigging, forming bands, forget about all that and write songs. Now there's different ways of writing songs, and I'm not going to go into them here. I might do a video if there's an interest in this, in all the different methods to write songs, so that you've got a sort of, if you're struggling. But the easiest way is to have an acoustic guitar. Now I don't sing, I'm not really a songwriter. I see myself as a composer but not a songwriter because I don't sing. If you want to write songs and you don't sing, you're going to have to find a singer, and then you form a duo. But I've got my acoustic guitar, and we're going to write a few songs here, and I'm going to write a song now. So the first thing is, what's your song going to be about? I think that's the most important thing. That's the thing that people respond to, is what the song is about, right? Well, right now I'm trying to write a song. So I'm going to write a song now about writing a song, right? So let's just get some chords up. Now that's like a riff. Riffs are really good for verses. I'm trying to write a song. I'm worried it might be wrong, but it might be right. There's something out of sight. So I've got my verse there, right? Now, if you want to write choruses have to be sing-along. And to create a sing-along chorus, now these aren't rules, these are just suggestions. They go, so if somebody came to me and said, I really want a sing-along chorus, then you need to come up with certain chord progression that will promote in your mind a sing-along chorus. That's how you create a hook, right? These are the trade secrets. Don't tell anybody, right? So you need a certain chord progression. Now, what I've seen years of teaching is kids trying to write songs like this. So they'll get, everyone knows that chord, and then they'll just randomly put another chord next to it. Ooh, that would be alright if you didn't rush. Any chord can follow any chord, but they're after something a little bit more commercial, maybe. So that's no good. So maybe, ooh, that's no good. But maybe, I think, oh, that's good. I like that. Oh, I like that. Well, then another chord. So maybe go. Oh, I don't like that. Right, and you see them just throwing these random chords in. Then eventually, after about 2 hours of sat there trying to come up with a chord progression, they're like this. Oh! Oh my God! Oh, what have I created? This is amazing. Oh, I've got my song. I've got my song. This sounds amazing. Now, I've seen this over and over again. Right? That is the most hackneyed chord progression. It is the most common chord progression in music, right? Audiences like it for some reason. I think because it's very easy to build up catchy hooks, right? So this is the truth. If you're a songwriter, and number one on this is that you're going to write some songs, you're going to have to learn a bit of music theory, right? Because you don't want to be sat there thinking you've reinvented the wheel when you come up with the most obvious chord progression that any decent songwriter would know straight off. Right, that's really important. And if you don't like these hackneyed commercial chord progressions, you better learn some music theory, because you're going to have to come up with something that doesn't sound like that, which means you have to know what that is. Right, now this chord progression is called a 1-5-6 chord progression, and it's like a million songs. With or without you, with or without you, I can't live. Or what else would be? Oh, there's billions of songs. And there's a thing on the internet called Axis of Awesomeness, and I don't want to be doing that. I will just, I'd hate to have a video get popular because I've done that. So you go and find something else about it. Now, what's here, what they don't say on Axis of Awesomeness is this chord change will promote sing-along melodies. So I'm trying to write a song, and so I can't write a song. Everything is sounding wrong. I can't write a song. So I now have my chorus. So let's try and put this all together. So this is the most important thing, is to write some songs every day. Get up and write the song, and then put your phone on and record it down. So that I've got a version of the chorus. I don't need to go any further than that. I would just store that, and I would come back and listen to it on another day. The reason is because I want to get a bit of distance from it, so I can see. You can't tell whether this is any good now. You're in the middle of it. So what was it? I'm trying to write a song. It's gonna be so great. It's gonna be full of love. It's not gonna have any hate. They'll see it on my YouTube, and they'll think it's fine. They'll wonder how I'm coming up with stuff that always rhymes. I'm gonna write a song. Don't care if it is wrong. I'm gonna write a song. Write a song. Everybody! We're gonna write a song. I don't know if it's gonna be wrong. I'm gonna write a song. Bit of a prog bit there for you. So, this is like what I'm trying to show you, is that stop being a perfectionist, right? I'm sure I mean, I literally have not prepared anything, right? In the same way as I could come and do a YouTube and just talk off the top of my head, I can usually come up with lyrics on the spot. They're terrible, but I don't know and I enjoy that. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. You don't have to get a piece of paper out and write the lyrics. You could just make them up, or you could just go just see whatever you want. The most important thing is just to get working. You get up in the morning, write a song, verse, chorus, maybe a middle, nothing more. Acoustic guitar, or write it with a computer with some loops. Right? If you're in a band, then the band needs to go to the rehearsal room and they need to come up with some riffs, so they need to write a song, and then you record it on your phone. So now we have got, right, 20, 30 songs. Live with those songs. Find somebody who knows a little bit about it and go and see them. So you want to have a list of some of these songs. You pick the 5 that are best. And go and play these songs. Now, to do that, you're going to have to do number 2 on the list here, which is record them badly. Make sure you've got recordings of them, right? Those, you know, if you could film it on your phone as a video, right? You can put this stuff on Instagram if you want. Don't be worried to put works in progress. Don't be worried to put rubbish stuff on. You don't have a fan base at the moment. Nobody's looking, right? So record them badly. Have a recording number. I have a recording of my song now, right? I don't care that I cocked up before I went to the verse of the chorus, because we know what that sort of song is. And I could go and play that to people and get some advice, right? And this is the next step 3. Get some advice, maybe family, friends, maybe some people in the business that you know, and pick the best song. Which is the best one? Which is the most catchiest one? Now, you may have done a lot of work on a song that you think is absolutely brilliant, but it doesn't mean people will like it. Hard work does not mean it's good, right? Which is another thing that everybody thinks. What you need to do is just find out what it is. And if you found something catchy down, some of you might be going, well, Andy's song, that chorus is quite, I've got it in my head. The reason is because the hackneyed chord progression. Do you want me to do another one, right? So here's another hackneyed chord progression. Say if we went like... Come up with something catchy. Come up with something nice. That's more of a verse, actually. But the chord progressions or the riffs, this is how you write songs. The riffs are important, right? What's important is the vocal that comes up. Once you've got a vocal like that, you can then strip away your cruddy chord progressions if you want and put more complex chord progressions in, like if you were Steely Dan, that's what you would do. I mean, if you're Steely Dan, it's going to be like... I am cynical. Oh, you know I am you. Right, it's all the same whatever you do, right? So the point I'm making here is just do it. Stop thinking about it, right? If I can come on here and do this on my channel with thousands of people listening with no preparation, with a horrible guitar, so the cheapest guitar I could find, out of tune with me singing, and I don't care what you think. You know, it's like, in fact, my first song, I might go into the studio and record it properly, which of course is step 4 on the list, is now you need to go and record this song, which you have picked. You've got more of a chance of the song being good because you've written 20 or 30 songs, you've recorded them all badly, you've lived with them, you've listened to them, you've played your friends them, and your friends have started saying, oh, that one, you know, I'm trying to write a song, you know that one? That I can't stop, that's in my head, it's really catchy. Oh, is it? I didn't think that was, I just did that on the spot for a YouTube video. Yeah, it's really catchy. So, right, so then you book into a studio. Now, when you go to a studio, right, it's expensive. So you don't want to be going there to make an album. Everybody wants to go in and try and do 5 tracks and record an EP. And they haven't gone through this process. They've just bust together 5 songs. There's been no quality control. And now they're in there without living with the songs, without knowing what they're doing, having to pay for a week, which has costed them a lot of money to get this stuff sorted. Now, a studio should be able to do whatever you want. You should be able to go in with your band and get a demo, or just turn up and say, look, I'm a songwriter, can you do a demo for me? The other way is to do it yourself. And that means, you know, getting a computer, getting a DAW on there like Cubase or Logic or Pro Tools or Reaper, banging that down, getting yourself a MIDI keyboard, and then demoing the track and recording it like that. Now, there's advantages to both of these. If you go down the self-making route, it's going to cost you a lot of money, but you'll then, once you've spent the money on the gear, you'll be able to do it forever. But then your production skills are also in the mix. If you go to a proper studio, it will be done in one day by professionals and have a product. So you've got to decide where you're at. If you've got some production skills, do the work. If you haven't, go to a recording studio. Right, get them a deal to just record your one song one day to have it recorded and mixed. Right, and that's going to be a certain sum of money. When you make that sort of money, you've got to think to yourself, well, I spent a month writing songs, I picked a song and I went to the studio and I recorded it, so it's taken me a month. The other way, where you try and do it yourself and you're having to try and mix and master and do all these things, you might end up doing 6 months to a year to get that one track done. This is my experience. So studios are useful, right? So you've now recorded it properly. You have a nice, shiny, lovely version of your song, but as best as it can be presented. The next stage, the next stage, which is the most important stage, number 5, you need to create a video for it, almost like a pop video. It doesn't want to be you acting out some dramatic scene, like, you know, Ultravox in Vienna, you know, walking around in a coat in a sort of moody film noir. We don't want that. What we want is a really nice, snappy, good quality video of you performing it, so people can see you, they can see the vibe of what you're about, they can see the passion with which you're performing the song. It can't just be a camera in a room, it's got to look pretty good. Again, you could try and learn to do these skills yourself, or you could go to a local video company or a filmmaker or a friend you know who knows how to edit video and try and create the video. Now, my advice is, if you're going to do this, all you've got to do is have some sort of way of playing the track so you can mime to it. You are not going to do it live. It's no point. You're going to mime to it like everybody else. You're going to mime to the demo that you've now got made. Right, so all you need to do is find an interesting location, go down there, film yourself running through it like 5 or 6 times from different angles with one camera, and then edit it together. You can do that on an iPhone. Make the editing snappy and bang it out there. Will it be brilliant? No, but you're just starting at this, right? And this is a really, really important thing that I want to get across. You are not going to become really successful or massive fan base unless you practice doing the skills to get there. And if you are not doing anything, you're not practicing those skills. I promise you, if you go into the studio and you try and record and you spend some money, you're going to come out there not happy. Next time you go in, you're going to know better how to operate within the recording studio. Same with creating a video for your stuff. Right, so now we have a lovely video, okay? At that point, you announce yourself to the world. Now, you could have announced yourself right from the very beginning and just track this on social media, but what I like to do is, like, you come up with a band name, you set up your Facebook page, you set up your Bandcamp, you can go to like a Muse or TuneCore or whatever, so you can get the track out on all digital, you know, platforms, Spotify and all that. And if you don't know how to do that, I will do a video to explain that. And you can do this in an afternoon. So suddenly you announce on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, say, I'm in a band, this is the band, here's our song, here's the video, right? Now, when you do that, after all this work, the response will be absolutely underwhelming, all right? You'll check it a few days later because you have no traction at all. So when you check it, there will be hardly any views, right? You go on your Bandcamp and you'll probably see that 3 people have downloaded it, right? Now, there's another thing. I could go through how to operate on Bandcamp, how to operate on Spotify, and how to use all these, but I'm not going to do that on this channel. If you want to know about that, ask, and I'll do a video about releasing your stuff online and the things that I've learned that will maximize, you know, creating an audience. And you have to make a decision on whether you're trying to make money or create an audience. So the answer is, to start off, you're creating an audience, and once you've got an audience, you slowly bring in the monetization. But even then, there's specific ways you need to do that to maximize your earning potential. But the point is that at that point you will be disheartened. Don't be disheartened, right? This is the most important message to this video, right? Because number 7 is now you repeat. The track comes out, you've had 7 people listen to it, you got 20 likes on Facebook, it's abysmal. You start again. You now go back to your songs, you might want to write a few more songs, you might go back to another song, go, actually now we think this one's a better song. Go in, you know, demo it, get a rough recording of it, maybe you've got a rough recording, people start to get interested, send it to your mate, they want to drum on it and stuff like that, right? So you take that track, record it properly, film a video. But this time, when you repeat, this is the point that on these social networks that you've just created, you document it. Here's me writing a song. Here's a video of me writing a song. Here's a video of me talking about, thinking about writing a song, right? Here's me, you know, going to the studio. We're in the studio. Here's a bit of film of us in the studio, right? Now, we're filming a video. Look, we're filming a video. And that will all this, every bit of stuff you're putting out on the social network is this going, we've got a new single out. Now, this is the key. When you put that first one out, you had 20 people get into it, right? 20 people sort of liked it. Maybe of that, there was only 7 that really liked it, okay? All right? So they're going to be there going, oh, there's another single coming out. And they're not leaving me alone because they've got stuff now coming out on social networks. After I liked it, they've got something coming out every single day, and it's reminded me. And I've made a decision whether I like it or not, and I actually do like it. My mate didn't like it, and he's gone away for them. But I actually like this, so I'm quite interested to see what they come up with next. Right, so when that comes out, those 7 will automatically like it. But if you think about it, the process we've just been through netted 7, right? But you've actually got more traction now because it's the way algorithms work on the internet. They're going, there's a lot of stuff coming up here and people liked it before. Maybe this time we just chuck it out to a few more people, right? And all the, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, what's the one that the kids like? TikTok, YouTube. All of these are different. You have to know how they work. And I could do a video on that if you would like. So anyway, we... you know, this time when you get, maybe you only get another 7, but now you got 14. But maybe because of the traction, you actually got 20. So now you got 27 people liking it. Guess what you do now? You do it again. Next song, put it out. You're going around this circle, right? All the procrastination, all the stuff of self-doubt, you've got to put it to the side. You've got to, right, which is number 8 on this list. Number 8 is hold your position. You just keep doing it relentlessly. You write a song, you record a song, you release it on video. Whilst going through that process around that circle, you document everything on social networking with every post saying new single coming out at this date. Right, and then you have that single release, and then you do the same thing. This is the next single. And what happens is you will just slowly pick up people who like your stuff. It can't not, unless the stuff's utterly terrible. And believe me, it's like you would have more success, I think, if you were abysmal. All right, this is a lesson you've got to realise. If you were just awful, you're probably going to get a following. If you're brilliant, you're going to get a following. The problem is all the people in the middle that are just competent but boring. Again, that's another video. How do you stop being competent and boring? You know. So hold your position. Now I'm going to tell you something. I've known this for years, right? 3 years ago, when I noticed one of my videos on this YouTube had done really well and had about 3,000 views, I thought, well, that's interesting. I decided to apply what I know about the music industry to YouTube. So I started creating a 10-minute video, and I did 3 of those a week, right? Each video did about 200 views, okay? And every month I probably picked up about 20 subscribers. But I held my position. I kept putting the videos out. I know other people try and set up YouTubes. They'll put like 5 videos out. They'll look and they go, no one's looking at it at all. And then they stop. But I held my position. After a month, I'd got like 12 videos. They were all averaging around about 500 views. Right? That's, what is that? So if it was 1,000 views, it would be 12,000. So it's 6,000 views. And what YouTube did is went, hang on, this bloke, he's just started producing videos. He's had 6,000 views this month. Well, chuck a little bit in his way, share it out. What did they like? What did the people? Oh, they're all old blokes who are into prog. Instead, we've got some other old blokes who are into prog, haven't we? The people who watch Sea of Tranquility and the people who've liked that Marillion Page, send the video their way. And then suddenly you're now hitting it. And I saw it slowly grow. Right, at the moment I'm doing 500,000 views a month and I'm doing 2,500 subscribers a month. That's where I'm at. This time next year it will be even bigger. I've held my position through illness, through COVID, through nervous breakdowns and problems with my job, problems with my family, through deaths. I have been in this room making videos. I've held my position. Right, sometimes I come in here with a brilliant idea, sometimes I come in here with no idea at all. Right, sometimes I know what I'm talking about, sometimes I don't. With this subject, I actually do know what I'm talking about. That's why there's not that many jokes here, right? But are these very serious, proper, creative videos that I'm doing getting all the views? No, they're not, and it'll be the same with your stuff, right? And that's why you should never think you know what is good or be a perfectionist, right? As you go round this circle, you will get better, I promise you. Subconsciously, you won't have to even think about it. You will get better every time you go around, right? So number 8, hold your position, right? Eventually, you're going to have 8 songs, aren't you? You're going to have 8 songs on your Bandcamp, you're going to have 8 songs on Spotify, right? At that point, you release that as an album. Now, I think, and this is the bit that's relative to now, 2 years ago I would have then banged all those songs up onto a digital album and stuck it out on Bandcamp, and at that point I would have put a price on it and then you could start to recoup your costs. Right, now I would do something different. I would put it on CD. Right, people are going back to wanting to buy physical products. I've noticed it myself. I'm pretty sure that if you put something out on CD, or if you could afford it vinyl, and that's a really incredible thing, people who have bought into it. Now, you've got 8 songs now. Now, you're probably thinking, why do they want to buy a CD when they've got all 8 songs? That's the industry. No one's buying they're not buying it to listen to it. They're buying it to own it. They've bought into you and they want a piece of you. They want to be able to store it, they want to be able to look at it, they want to be able to hold it, and they want to be able to take it places. That's really important. Now we've got to remember that everyone's going on about vinyl and they're saying vinyl sounds better than MP3. Yeah, MP3 doesn't sound that great, but vinyl is still in terms of audio signal, it's been simplified and brought down exactly like an MP3. You can't have stereo bass, you can't have certain frequencies. It has to be mastered to go onto vinyl. And this is why I think CDs in the end, for most normal people, don't want to get into massively high quality stuff, just something they can stick on in the car. CDs are still really the best, and I'll argue the beauty of vinyl till the cows come home. But in terms of, these very simple things for normal people, CDs are great, right? And I think they're going to make a return. I really do. So you then make a CD. Now, you've got a CD, right? So the last number 10 is now, not before, but right now, you've got 8 songs and you've got a CD. This is the point when you go and gig. Now, your first gig, when you get to this first album, will probably be 1 gig in your local town, right? 1 gig. And you'll go to that gig, and everybody will turn up, but this time you'll have a desk with an album, and you've got your mom there, which she's taking, 10 quid, $10 for each album. You're making money. Doesn't matter if the venue won't pay you. All your friends come down. Every band, when they do that first gig in their local town, they get 50 people in. They all come in. 40 of them buy the CD. Most bands don't have a CD, so they miss out on this. Maybe you got some T-shirts done. You walk out with 400 or 500 quid. You go, oh my God, this is it. You're on a big high. Right? So then the next thing they do is their big mistake is they go to another local venue and book another gig. And what happens? Well, all your close mates and your mum and your dad and your nan, they all come down. There's a few people couldn't be bothered because they saw it the first time. If you keep doing that, you're just going to kill it. You stop. That's your 1 gig. Okay? Then you start again. Right? And this is the way bands work. Bands go into a room, they write the songs, they demo the songs, they record the songs, they create an album, they create a video and marketing materials for that album, they put it out on social networking, and then they go and tour. Right, and the tour is on the back of that album, and the album is off the back of that tour, and they go off and tour it, and then they stop and they repeat the process. They don't do what all the amateurs do, which is go off and gig every weekend. You don't do it like that. You do that one gig that works and everyone leaves on a high. Now, next year when you finished it, or 6 months' time, when you got a new album out, those same people will turn up again. But they're not going to turn up every week for you. But when you go around the second time, you should have now be starting to amass an audience, right, where a few other venues, you might be able to find that there's another venue. You might take a risk and do 5 venues. Now you've got a tour. Once you go out doing a tour, right, and this is where this video ends, because hopefully now, once you've got to this point, you've got products, you've got a band, it's got a name, and you've got some sort of audience that you can build on. And at that point, you will feel secure enough to then go off and drive off halfway around the country to play in some pub and only get 20 people turn up. And what you need to do there, and this would be the content of the follow-up video, is when you're in that room, is not be depressed, but you do your best and you play your hearts out. And if you pick up just 2 people in that room, that would be amazing. Now, this first wave of audience that you will have got by this, these aren't just fans, these are your friends. You need to connect with them. You know, you can connect with them on social networking, or you can use something like Patreon. And you might even find some of them will want to support you financially, right? That would be stage 2. This is stage 1, right? And it'll probably take 2 years. 2 years down the line, if you go through that, it doesn't matter how rubbish you are as a songwriter, how incompetent you are as a musician, if you can get through that and go around it, at that point you will be competent. You will have gained experience and you know what you're doing. And the thing is, I've always said this to my students, say you do all this and it doesn't work, say you decide it's not for you. The skills that you will have got from doing this will be really useful in the future if you film another band, or say you want to set something else up, or say you've got a business and you want to market your business, you're a plumber or something. It all applies. So this video is done. I know you want to hear it. I have finished my song. You know I can't be wrong. Please like. I'm doing it wrong. Because I had the idea, I thought I should sing the final bit, shouldn't I? Shall I sing it over these chord progressions? If you like this video, stick a like on it now. If you want to see some more, you know what she's here for. Just hit subscribe and ring the notification bell. If you want to support me, if you want to support me, if you want to support me on Patreon, there's a link below. It's the place to go. You will have so much fun. You won't gain it sat on your bum like me. Saturday, you could also support me on my YouTube PayPal tip jar. On my YouTube PayPal tip jar. On my YouTube PayPal tip jar.